Okay, everybody, this is Imar Soput, the Sports Inquirer, and we're here joined by Noel Ruiz from Georgia State football. Noel, you've had a very strong start to the season. You made 3 field goals against Appalachian State. You've made 14 consecutive field goals so far this year for a program record. How has the kicking been this year just for you and that special teams unit?
It's been good. It's been awesome to start off strong. We want to keep improving and keep finding ways to, be the best we can be. I give a lot of credit to Michael and Seth for working with me hard throughout the week, giving me great snaps and holds in the game. That makes my job easier. But I think just the way we prepare every week is why we've been so strong, have had such a strong start. So we take practice very seriously and try to get as many reps as possible. That way we're confident and smooth, and the chemistry is just all there.
And how important is that working with your lineman, your snapper, your holder? How much work goes into that? Do you work in the off season together? You get extra reps in that practice? How's the preparation just for that?
It's huge. I definitely credit a strong off season. We're always together, so I feel like that I think the reason why the chemistry is so important is because it's all about timing. Like the littlest mistake can throw off the snap or the hold, and obviously that throws me off. So I think just having a year on our belt together, and then the off season was strong. We worked diligently all spring, all summer, and so when camp started, it was almost easier. It's like second nature to us. Start off camp, we were all strong. We had the fastest op times, and right now, we're just trying to be the best we can be and break records.
Fastest op times, what does that translate to for those unfamiliar with that terminology?
So like from the snap to the kick, you ideally want it. We're about 1.25. That's like our goal for every rep, and that just the quicker we are, the harder it is for anybody to get through it or try to block it. And so, we just want to be fast, but at the same time smooth. I personally don't like running or at the ball where I feel like I'm out of control. So I feel like that's why the timing is so important. We kind of know it's just like a rhythm feel to me at this point. I kind of know when the snap is coming, and everything is just feels fluid, and it's just that timing is really important for the quick and smooth op time.
Do factors such as distance, wind, playing surface, whether it's turf or grass, do you have to alter your routines just on that, or do you try to keep the same continuity as far as snap counts, the snap, everything? You want to try to keep it consistent, or do you look at those variants before the contest or maybe even during a game?
Ideally, we try to keep everything the same, but there are factors that affect the kick. Like wind is probably one of the biggest factors in games, especially when we're at new stadiums. That's why warm-up's really important when we go to new stadiums. Is we just got to figure out tricky winds. Auburn had a very tricky swirling wind, so sometimes it'd be right to left, and other times it would flip on us. So just being aware of that stuff is really important. But we try not to change anything as far as the operation goes. So if anything needs to change, really it's changing where I'm aiming at and letting the ball play in my favor. But from like an operation standpoint, we try to keep everything the same as far as distance and everything goes.
Do you have any favorite places to kick? I'm sure you're most comfortable playing at home, but have there been some? You mentioned Auburn. The wind was twisty. Are there any other places that you've liked, or any places that were really difficult for you that you kicked at while at Georgia State?
I enjoyed UNC. UNC didn't really have when we went there. It wasn't really like a strong wind by any means, and it just felt, I don't know, something about the atmosphere. It felt really easy to kick there. I enjoyed playing there a lot. I would say the trickiest places though are trying to remember last year.
Is Georgia State, is the stadium tricky? A GSU stadium?
Yeah,
Center Parc Stadium. Yeah, describe kicking at home. Is it difficult? Are you used to it? What's that like for you? Your home stadium.
By now I've gotten used to it. I kind of know how to play the ball in our stadium. But yeah, I mean, even when I committed, I had some friends that had played here, and they had warned me that that the wind is very tricky here, and just got to kind of get accustomed to it. Even the turf is kind of tricky. My first couple of months here, the turf was really tricky here. It's a little, it's not really stiff or rigid. It kind of sinks down. So I just get acclimated to that, and same thing with my kickoffs, especially in the stadium. If you kind of hit it too high, the wind will just kind of kill it. So you got to kind of play it not low, but a little driven. That way, you kind of just cuts through the wind. Because of the openings on each end of our stadium, it does swirl. But by now, I've kind of got acclimated to it. It's kind of a consistent wind by now that I kind of figured out, and so. But I appreciate it though, because I understand if I want a job at the next level, it's going to be 10 times worse. And just learning how to play it and kind of be aware for it, especially now when I go to other stadiums, kind of what to watch out for. It's taught me a lot to help me in my game drastically.
You mentioned going to the next level. You delayed that by a year by returning to Georgia State for another campaign. What led to that decision to come back to the Panthers for another season?
It was just last year, there was just so much uncertainty that it just kind of made it difficult for me. We had a lot of games get canceled, and not having like a full schedule where I felt like I wasn't going to get a good amount of attempts to kind of show what I can do. And it kind of, we only played 9 games or 10 games, and I only got to play 9 of them because I missed one due to COVID. And so, to me, it felt like a blessing to get a year back where I felt like I can get more comfortable and acclimated here. And I definitely want to put my best foot forward, and I definitely want to have the best season I could possibly have, and show my strengths in every way. And I'm hopefully that I can do that the rest of this year.
Hey, you mentioned your network of kickers. I'm sure one of those guys in that group is Wil Lutz. He was just named to the GSU Hall of Fame, first football player ever to receive that honor. What's that like for you to see a special teams player get recognized like that? Do you have interactions with them? And just what about seeing him receiving that honor and seeing a fellow Panther kicking at a professional level, at a very high level like that?
It's inspiring. I love looking up to him. He's been one of my favorite kickers since I was in high school, and every day I walk in the facility, I see his pictures everywhere, his uniform, and it just inspires me that somebody did it before me here, it's awesome that he's getting recognized by Georgia State, and I wish him the best. He's having a phenomenal career. Right now, the goal is to break every single record he has.
Do you speak with them? Do you interact with them as far as talk kicking, or even any other professionals? How's that go for you?
I haven't personally ever talked to him. Hopefully, one day I get that chance. But he's pretty. He's living in New Orleans, so I don't think he really visits that much back here. But I hopefully I get the opportunity to one day. Back in North Carolina, where I'm from, Joey Sly, who used to kick for the Panthers and just got picked up by the 49ers. He's the one got kicked with a couple of times in the offseason, and I learned a lot through him. He gave me a lot of good advice and pointers. Somebody that's done it at the highest level right now, and it's inspiring to know that there's a possibility that could happen, and just kind of doing what I can do.
Yeah, I don't know if you really follow the Falcons too much, but in their game last week against Washington, their punter got, or I guess one of their kickers got hurt, and Younghoe Koo, who's their Pro Bowl kicker, he had to punt for them in an emergency scenario. Have you ever had to be in that situation, whether at high school or in North Carolina A&T, or have you punted in the past? And if that happened now, would you be able to pull off punting duties for Georgia State?
So yeah, I punted in high school.
Okay.
In college, I haven't punted, but I did see that happen. And Cameron Islak is also somebody I train with in the offseason who works with my coach. So hopefully he gets better. But no, that's I don't know how confident I'd be getting thrown in that situation. Sometimes I practice, I'll still do it just to kind of have it, because that's something that I feel like at the next level, you never know. In the first week, the Jets had that happen where their punter got hit on a play, and the kicker had kicked the rest of the game, and he actually did really well. I think he averaged like almost 50 punting, and so that's why I think it's important, kind of at least be able to do all three in case a situation like that happens. But yeah, if it were to happen right now, I don't know how confident I'd be. I think Young Ways went like 25. I would personally think that's how mine would go.
Do you practice that now, though? Did you go in your special teams meeting and talk about that? It's like, okay, I know it's the NFL, but it could happen to us. Did you go over that in your meetings this week?
We didn't, but I do probably like a couple of days a week. I'll just punt just because I like to kind of improve on that. It's something fun I like to do, and there's little things that the guys here will kind of help me out with that about. I think right now we have Cade, who's our backup. He would be in that situation, but if it really came down to me, I think I practiced it somewhat enough to do somewhat decent on it.
Would you do the Australian style kicks with the line drives, or would you do traditional floaters, that the ones that we're used to seeing a little bit more often?
Me
Or
personally,
rugby style, I should say, not Australian style, rugby style.
I would probably go rugby just because last year for like 2 or 3 weeks I was on the depth chart like second string because we started just doing rugbies midway through last season, and there's something that came natural with my kicking swing. And so yeah, if we really needed it, that's probably something I would do. Just this is more natural to me. I can do like traditional punting, but I feel like I haven't got it down enough where I have more room for error with that than just pulling out a rugby and just letting it roll and letting it just take off.
Sure. And now you have Monroe coming up this Saturday. Team's off to a slow start in conference and overall. How's the team's morale and just looking to get back in winning ways, especially with conference season being in it right now?
The biggest thing Coach L has been preaching to us is to not, look at them like they're a lesser opponent. Just because he told us, Troy fell into that trap. They upset Troy a couple weeks ago, and it's just a whole different staff, and it's a different team than last year. So it's just more of approaching it like you would approach any other opponent, and definitely we need to get back on our winning track. We had a tough schedule, and after a heartbreaking loss to Auburn and a disappointing result against App, I think it's important that we go into the bye week with a strong win. I think having a commanding win would give us the momentum we need going to the bye week, and then getting another win against Texas State, and then just flipping the season around. I think this game is important in terms of us getting that momentum that we need and that we know we're capable of doing.
Well, Noel, thank you for your time. We appreciate it, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.